Hey Nakama, it's Gomu, it's me. My name is ALDIN, or ALDIN, and today we're going to be live reacting, well not really live, but we're going to be reacting to chapter 1058. Let's get into it. So, I mean, I don't know if anybody noticed I was gone. If you did, I'm sorry. If you didn't, what's going on? Okay, so we're doing 1058 today, right? And the chapter is called New Emperors, so obviously it's going to be centered around, you know, Buggy and Luffy and stuff like that. So the cover page is Caesar with Germa 66, and on the page it says Germa 66, an emotional excursion, volume 17, take me with you, get me out of here. So I don't know if you can see that, but it basically looks like Caesar is asking Germa to take him with them. So whatever, we're just trying to get into the chapter, and I have some thoughts and opinions that I'll probably wrap up my feelings about what's been going on in One Piece. So yeah, that's probably another video though, we'll see. Let's get into it. Okay, so the ship is leaving the land of Wano, and what's crazy is in the last chapter we saw that Yamato isn't going with them, which is, I don't know how other people are feeling about it, but I'm pretty shocked about that. So I mean, we're gonna see how that plays out. Maybe she's gonna come during like the final battle, the big war that Oda's been talking about. But yeah, right now it's just them sailing away. You know, Luffy in the other chapter chose the path with the most resistance instead of the path with the least resistance. So, you know, Nami's mad at him, Jinbei's laughing, you know, he's like, oh, it wasn't so bad, and then, you know, she yells at him, whatever. So here's what we've been waiting for. We're about to see the new bounties for the land of Wano. It's getting intense. It's, you know, they're mentioning how Luffy has 5,600 person fleet. So, you know, but we're only going to see the nine senior officers. So, okay, so right now we're getting 5 of the Straw Hats. You know, like obviously it's going in order of, you know, least to most. So choppers went up to 1,000, which is pretty cool. I mean, honestly, excuse me, if you really think about it, Chopper should have a higher, like a lot higher bounty, because he's a ship's doctor, and yeah, he does fight, but he, you know, like he's not up there with them in strength. But you know, bounties I've always heard where how much you can affect, you know, the government and stuff like that in the world, and you know, he's, you know, keeping people from dying, keeping them from the brink of death and all that stuff. So it should honestly be higher, in my opinion. I'm not saying it should be 100 million and stuff like that, but 1,000 berries, I mean, I like the ongoing joke. So, you know, Nami's is 366 million, which I think is pretty adequate. You know, she did show her stuff, and she's the navigator. Like I said, like there should be some, you know, importance also tags. Brooks is 383, which honestly I think Brooke is a lot stronger than this than his bounty and stuff gives him credit for, because I mean, he was basically I don't know how I would, you know, categorize it, but like he was the best Straw Hat on Whole Cake Island. So I would have assumed that his would have gone up more, but Frankie, it's pretty funny because Frankie's picture is not even him, it's the Sunny. But you know, it's pretty funny. His is 394. You know, he's actually, you know, pretty strong, especially with all of his technology and everything he's been able to achieve. And then God Usopp, he's 500 million, and he says no more, stop the count. It's the God Usopp thing is just one of the best things that One Piece has. You know, in just terms of like comedy, but I mean, he's massively impressive, because I think he's gonna get observation hockey. So once that like kicks in, I think we're gonna see God Usopp actually come into full effect. But whatever for now. Next page. It's pretty crazy how the jump from God Usopp to Robin is like 430 million berries. I think that's pretty crazy, but at the same time, I understand why they put her so high. She's honestly the most dangerous to the world government, barring, you know, the Joy Boy thing with Luffy. So she should, I mean, it's good that they actually gave her that. So, but it's funny because, so then it goes like this. It goes Luffy, Zoro, Jinbei, Sanji. I mean, Sanji just can't catch a break. at the end of the day, he is worth 1.032 billion berries. But then Jinbei is worth 1.1 billion, and then Zoro is worth 1.111 billion. So, you know, I feel like Jinbei is getting some of those former warlord, you know, added on, because in Wano, you know, he didn't really, I mean, he fought and everything, but, you know, Sanji took out Queen, and, you know, Zoro took out King, which is pretty crazy. So, I mean, yeah, like, Jinbei fought the who's who and stuff, but I don't know. I mean, trust me, Jinbei is one of my favorite Straw Hats. I just like how he's, like, the older, wise, you know, one. So, I like it. And then Luffy's still trapped in the cage trying to get out so he can get some food. So, okay. Now we're starting to see why Buggy is an emperor. And everything, not everything that transpired. But right now I'm doing 2 pages in one just because they're right, you know, like the way they were set up. So apparently the Marines, you know, not apparently, but they went after the former warlords. And they came after Buggy. And when they surrounded Buggy, apparently Mihawk was nearby. So it looks like Buggy begged and pleaded, you know, to get Mihawk's help. And he helped him. So the organization, the Cross Guild, the one that's attacking, you know, that's putting bounties on Marines, was actually started, now that we know, from Crocodile and Hawkeye, which you could kind of assume because, well, not assume, but you could kind of see coming because of how much Crocodile is, you know, infatuated with organizations. So, and Hawkeye, like, it's funny because in this picture, you have Crocodile holding Buggy's head, and then Hawkeye with like his sword, and like they're both pissed because he's getting labeled the emperor and the boss of them, even though he had nothing to do with it. So it's just another way that Buggy backs into power. So I think that's kind of funny. All right, so the next page is just them talking, you know, discussing what's happening. Nothing really crazy on here. Okay, so in this page we're seeing how, you know, Mihawk was about to move base and everything, you know, because the Marines were finally coming after the warlords, and Crocodile said, yo, you should come on my side. You know, Captain Buggy was being surrounded, his battleships were under attack. It's just basically showing us how we got to that point. So it's nothing really like too revealing, like of how they all met up on the same thing. So we'll see. All right, so Buggy is being attacked, and out of nowhere Crocodile comes in. Now it might look like he's saving him, but apparently Buggy owes Crocodile a lot of money. So he's saying, I'm in more trouble than the Marines, but obviously Buggy's henchmen think that he's like some grand mastermind and he's orchestrating this whole thing. So they're just basically like, oh my god, you know, Crocodile's your henchman, Chairman Buggy. So it's pretty funny. Buggy is basically begging for his life, as we've known Buggy to do. And Crocodile is just like, you know, if you can't pay me, I'll sell you into slavery. Buggy's like, don't. And then Buggy just basically says, I'll work for you and I'll help you start your company, because Crocodile wants to start a business. So we'll see. So Crocodile's bringing up the fact that the Cross Guild poster has Buggy at the top and then Crocodile, and so it looks like Buggy is the, you know, ringleader. And he said that his subordinates simply worship him, and that's where they put him. And then you see a little flashback panel, and it shows, I put you in the coolest place. So the Navy HQ is saying that with this poster, it confirms that, you know, Buggy was a real ringleader. So that's how we've come to see the Cross Guild and Buggy being known as the Emperor, which is pretty funny because we thought, why didn't Mihawk start working with Buggy? But it's not really like that. So I think that's pretty funny. So we're seeing we're seeing Crocodile and Mihawk's bounties, and these are crazy. So, you know, Crocodile right here, based on his Logia, his intelligence and leadership, he's 1.965 billion berries. So he's worth more than Zoro, Jinbei, like he's worth everybody in the Straw Hats except Luffy. But Mihawk is worth 3.59 billion berries. So he's worth 590 bill. I can't even speak. He's worth 590 million more berries than Luffy. That's crazy. Alright, so Buggy's is 3.189 billion, which is more than Luffy's, but you know, with Mihawk and Crocodile working for him, it kind of, you know, it would stand to reason that makes sense. And Mihawk is doing what I thought he would do by saying, you know what? Let him become the emperor. We don't want it. We don't want the spotlight. You know, I want to be quiet, you know? All right, so basically Buggy's coming out and saying that, you know, that he's the chief, or he is the head guy at the Cross Guild, and then his chief officers are Crocodile and Mihawk. It's just fun. Okay, so then now there's a shift to Kamabaka Kingdom where the Revolutionary Army is, and they're all saying, oh, like, oh, Sabo's alive, you know, be okay, Koala. And then Dragon at the bottom of the panel is saying, you know, I'm glad he's just fine, or Sabo is just fine. But if he actually killed the king, you know, King Cobra, there's gonna be problems between us, no matter what he did it for. So, okay, in the last page, you know, the Navy is intercepting, the Marines are intercepting the call that somebody's making to Kamabaka Kingdom, and lo and behold, it's Sabo. So next chapter, which is in 2 weeks, unfortunately, we're gonna see why he did it. What, hopefully, it might be a flashback, it might be lead up to something, but I think we're gonna see why he did what he did, or what really happened, you know, at Marijois. So yeah, it was a good chapter. I mean, we got to see a whole lot of things. Based off of last chapter, Yamato didn't join the tryouts, which is fine. I mean, I knew that Yamato would end up staying. Not staying, but it makes sense, and I didn't know, obviously, but it makes sense that Yamato would stay because, you know, Momonosuke's still like 9 years old, so, you know, he needs people that are strong around him, and, you know, Kinemon is strong, but Yamato is just on a whole different level, so that makes sense with that. It was a good chapter. It's been a good couple of chapters. I think I'm gonna not come up with some theories, but like have a video with some theories later on this week. Until then, be safe and well on your travels, and just remember, I will be the king of YouTube. Peace.